Welcome to the Beacon by Soul 33, teachings for your past, present and future. Good morning everyone. It is December 11th, a Monday here in Auckland, New Zealand, where I live. And if you are listening to this on YouTube, the Beacon app by Soul 33 or Spotify, please don't forget to like, subscribe, share. Let people know that this app exists because your memberships help me be able to share what I do, develop more features for the app, and create a spiritual app where your healer is here to support you and teach you in practical ways every week, making it attainable for everybody. How are you all? Can you believe it is December 11th? You know, this time last year, it was quite a rough time in my life because my mother-in-law was very ill at this time, and it is her 1-year anniversary this week. So it's bringing up some interesting memories, which is why I've led with that, is because it's part of your Monday mantra. And so, you know, this time of the year, it can be reflective for people. Lots of people are getting engaged, lots of people are breaking up, lots of people are getting pregnant, having babies, all of those things. You know, it's those chapters that have been closing from last week's Monday mantra for a new cycle beginning this week's Monday mantra, which I'll get into shortly. So some exciting things. We had the new feature update. So we've been working on it for a while. Like every time that I get enough and financial resources to put towards the development of the app, because it all takes recoding to, move with the technology of new phone software, we add new features. And we've got the shuffle feature. Now, it is now live on both Apple and Android. So if you haven't updated your phone, like for me, yeah, it automatically updates, but I do know that you either go to your Play Store or your App Store, and when you find the app Soul 33, which is what you type into your app stores, it'll say update. And so you hit update, it'll update your phone. You might want to turn your phone off afterwards or whatever, depending on how modern your phone is. And then when you go into the meditation section of the app and go into the categories such as fear, anxiety, relationships, whatever, you'll see a shuffle button at the top. So the way it works is, you might not know what meditation to do, but you can go in your mind or out loud, what do I need to do today? What Spirit, tell me what meditation I need. And you just never know what may surprise you. Like I loved the few feedbacks that we got about it. You know, I love the shuffle aspect of the meditations. I chose the relationship option today and hit shuffle, and what came up surprised me, is what someone has said. And so it's really wonderful that this is how it's going to work. It's kind of like the oracle cards, but oracle meditation. So enjoy that feature. We will keep adding to it as I have the financial resource to be able to do that. But I was really happy to be able to give you something to work with intuitively, the intuitive shuffle, over the Christmas period. So we're going to do a bit of a recap of last week's Monday mantra. And those of you that have been listening diligently for the few years that I have been doing this, in terms of the Monday mantra recordings, you will know that one energy links to the other, always telling a story, always adding on to the chapters. Your Monday mantra last week was, my current circumstances reveals my power. My current circumstance reveals my power. So these are all interesting for me too, right? Because Spirit gives me this information. I'm a human being. I have a human life. I have a job that's a little bit unusual, which is a very, very full-time purpose that I have. But what I was finding is that I was struggling with my ego. Now, I know that whatever I am feeling, it's because it's the collective at the time. But it's kind of like, you may not have been feeling powerful. This wasn't about necessarily feeling powerful. This might have been about feeling like, oh my God, I don't have any power. I'm not well, or I'm feeling like I've got a lot of self-doubt, or I have been feeling like I don't know what I'm doing. And so this is why the focus needed to be that, so that you could question yourself. And I loved it because a friend of mine sent me a WhatsApp voice message and said to me, I'm trying to think about how the Monday mantra applies to me this week because I'm really, really sick. And so it really got us all thinking, those of us who are really questioning our soul progression, what is my power within my circumstance? Over these last few weeks, we have been rewriting stories. We may not even have realized it, but we've been creating this bridge towards the momentum for 2024. Like, I've been really seeing it in my personal life, like, right, well, how do I want to end this year? That's my power, to be able to see what I can do within my circumstances so that that momentum continues on as the foundation for 2024. You know, some people are finding themselves in this place of like, wow, I'm stable, I've got everything I need. I'm not sure how everything's worked out. Some people will be feeling this, and this is where you may start doubting yourself. You may start feeling like, oh my God, is something bad going to happen? This is that sabotage that I spoke about when I recorded last week's Monday Mantra. And then others have been like, why are things like this? What is going on? But it's because things are wrapping up. Cycles, physically, karmically, emotionally, wherever you find yourself, your true power is being revealed. And it may not, like I said, have been like, oh, look at me, I'm so powerful. It's like, I'm going to have to regenerate this power. And it was all about self-discovery, like the circumstances pushing you towards more greatness. Maybe you needed rest. Maybe you did need to be questioning your whatever you're doing in terms of your purpose, because we needed that time of independence to be able to make a commitment to ourselves in whatever way that we needed it to. Maybe a commitment towards your health, maybe a commitment towards your children, what as a parent, whatever it is. So I'm going to ask you this question now, and I really want you to think about it. Do you understand the power you have within your current circumstance? And what was your power that was revealed to you last week? Because it required a bit of thinking, even in my own life, but I want you to really be aware of that, because this is how you push through, and new systems are put in place energetically for you to be better and be who you really are. The stand or stance you take this week may be a boundary or self-belief. I found this statement really fascinating for me. And I was looking at my life going, okay, what stand or stance am I taking in my life? And I had some interesting things come up towards the end of the week, really big opportunities. And I was thinking, this is fascinating, because I spent the first part of the week going, gosh, like doubting a lot of things. And that was the experience of my clients. Like, I had all kinds of clients last week. I had clients that are in this place of strong stability, but then trying to find areas of their life to sabotage themselves to find some sort of karmic balance. I had other clients who have been widowed at a very young age due to partners unfortunately taking their own life. I had people saying to me, we want to be just like you, and wanting intuitive powers to feel like they are powerful. So I just feel like people have been trying to find their power from different circumstances rather than looking at themselves. No, you don't want to be like me. All you see in me is someone living her truth, and she's created a life from that truth. And I have been able and blessed to have opportunities come from me being in alignment. But I'm also a very brave person that just lives life mostly trusting in the flow. Sure, I'm a human being, and sometimes I have resistance to trusting in the flow. But it's really important that we look at our power. And, you know, people, again, reevaluating relationships at this time. You know, clients who have been, have partners that have cheated on them, questioning, do I go back to this person? But the thing is, there's no cookie cutter answer, because what is your power within that situation, that circumstance, is to decide, to make an informed decision, to look at your knowing, to know whether, is this something that I know has truly ended karmically in terms of that experience, that I can actually trust and move forward. People were dealing with shame. It was a really this place of losing power to try and find power again, which is how it ended up looking like for me by the end of the week. We even had those people, most people want to be valued and appreciated with everything that they have. That is the power, is to be able to ask for that. Like, we forget to appreciate people. So I'm so thankful for those who have said thank you and for the new feature that we've put in, because it really makes me go, oh, great, it's something that's really adding value to this app, which in turn, my genuine motivation is to have created the space where I could have something that's affordable to everybody, because it's only $60 a year, which there's no other apps like this that charge that little, because apps are very expensive to run. But my genuine thing is, like, if you can't get to me personally, I want you to be able to have access to your own healing. And so it's like, I realized that my power was coming to me from that place of humility, because remember, I mentioned that last week. Being humble is really important, but not pretending to be humble. And this is why I said to one of my healer friends last week, I said to her, I'm actually really glad I'm someone that questions myself a lot and doesn't go, oh, I'm so wonderful and amazing. And I actually do go, okay, cool. So what was that about? Like, I don't remember much when I finish clients, but it's like, okay, I did the best that I could based on what that person would let me do. But my power is in the energy, the me being a healer, to be able, the type of healer that I am, to shift things within you to progress you very profoundly on your path. The humility comes in knowing that I'm not in charge of this. This is why when people say to me, I want to be like you, I want to do what you do. I didn't choose this. It was destined for me. It was destined for me in this package with my skills and abilities that I do have, that are part of my personality, to do this. And, all our purposes are being reevaluated. Like, we've been talking about this in varying ways over the last few weeks. And my healer friend sent me this for me. And I'm going to read this to you. And I want you to really listen to this carefully. In the face of your enemies, in the face of harassment, ridicule, and doubt, you held firm in your faith. Even in your abandonment, alone and without friends, you held firm in your faith. I pray that I may be as bold in my belief as you. Saint Joan, I ask that you ride alongside me in my own battles. Help me be mindful that what is worthwhile can be won when I persist. Help me hold firm in my faith. Help me believe in my ability to act well and wisely. And that's a prayer from Saint Joan of Arc. And I feel like when she sent this to me, because we were talking about power, because that's the energy of the week, that this resonates with all of you, because it wasn't about exerting ego power. It's like, what am I holding on to? The other thing that leads to my success in what I do and how I do it is I don't change my mind very easily. Like, I really don't change my mind very easily. I'm not a flippant person. I'm a very determined person. And just like the Joan of Arc prayer here, I hold firm in my faith. That's what you see when you come to see me as a person, and why I have so many people waiting is because I stick around with things for way long, because I know what I want. So this is why we need to remember this message, because we've obviously got this new energy coming in with the new moon this week that is going to be really important in terms of holding firm in what you want. So what stance were you taking last week for yourself, about yourself, victim or someone who's empowered? And how did your throat chakra, like, I had another friend say to me, I had an amazing conversation with my partner. We got everything out in the open. For me, my throat chakra was playing up again, like it was last Monday with the Monday mantra that I was recording with certain clients who on a superficial level had things going on and love in their life, but they weren't really saying what they needed to say. That's the stance or stand I was talking about, whether it's relationships with a partner or work or whoever. In order to follow our dreams, we sometimes need to get over hurdles. to be able to see the truth in our power. So just remember, we are so influential in the orchestration of our life, but you would have got signs last week. I did. I got plenty of signs from a week mostly filled with like, what's going on? Why is my ego going into this self-doubt place? Because my clients were feeling like that, going, maybe I'm not meant to have everything smooth sailing. Maybe I'm not good enough to have the partner that doesn't cheat on me. Maybe I'm going to have to have a partner that can't provide for me. Whatever it is, these are all the situations that I was feeling. And then as I got to the end of the week, clearing everyone's energy, I personally was being given like, Gaia, this is happening for you. Amazing opportunities coming my way. So as we moved through the week, we have the power to make anything happen. We can make ourselves well and we can make ourselves sick. I've been hearing from clients, over the last week that they wonder whether they deserve goodness in their life. Is what is happening to them really because they are worthy? Yes, it is. And some are even preparing for something bad to happen or liking it when something bad happens because they feel it's evening things up. I've heard this from multiple people. And it is a form of sabotage. So is there a balance sheet? I do believe to some degree there is, but it's not like so specific. The balance sheet is more about your intentions of doing things, which you're going to have to remember that because that comes into this week's Monday mantra. And whether you are doing things from a place of, again, empowerment, not fear. If we start seeing things as just being bad or good, then we are collating this balance sheet of experiences, which then makes everything really transactional in life, when really we just want to start seeing the power that we have to overcome and flow. Then things are neither bad or good. They just are. It is just what it is. Life sometimes has really great moments and sometimes there's these hurdles, but that's when we remember and remind ourselves we are needing to find our power within the circumstance. So what power do you hold within your circumstance this last week? And even going into this week, because all the Monday mantras transition into one another. Do you have the power to change? Do you have the power to accept? Do you have the power to receive, to give? You are influencing you. Your voice is being heard, even if it's the silent voice in your head. Goddess Lakshmi's card came up of abundance, and she came up because she is the goddess of many things, including feminine power to create. So she wanted us to know that in order to move past resistance to circumstances, even resistance to good circumstances, or what we perceive as good, we must know that she is supporting us at the moment. She holds the ability to use spiritual power to materialize what we want, not just things and money, but feelings of abundance, feeling abundant in everything. It is a time where we are wanting more depth in life and relationships. The material, though, just isn't good enough on its own. We still do need some material things for life comforts, but it's the energy behind it, that abundant feeling that's going to keep us in the flow. The Goddess Lakshmi abundance card came up for all of us to remember that you can experience abundant energy in order for it to happen in the direction you want life to go. It starts inside you first. The stance you take is how you decide to have power in your circumstance. This is not to exert power, but to let things complete. This is the endings, finishings of karma, and show you where your attention needs to be right now. And that's when I shared my ego has been all over the place, from doubting and then finished all my clients and then went back to this place of, oh, okay, maybe things are just the way they are because people weren't accepting their power. They were giving their power away to people or to whatever. And you may have needed some independence over the last week, whether your body became sick, or maybe you pulled away, or maybe you needed to do some things on your own. But what was it? What needed attention? What needs attention right now? Tell yourself and be positive about it. My body needs attention. My ego needs attention. My fear needs some attention in order for me to transmute it. I need to believe in myself more. Support is being shown to you, and you will see that in what's coming up in your life, what people are showing up, what opportunities are coming your way. Even through, remember, sickness, people will show you that they are supporting you, that they are there for you. You will be guided in the right direction. So remember, I am here for you. There are so many ways to connect with me. The best ways are through your personalized meditations. They take me quite a while to record, probably about an hour and a half by the time I source and license music for you. I sit and, really tune into what you need. I infuse energy into it so you get an energy shift. And these are an amazing investment for your soul progression. Also, the app is here to use all the resources. Now, because we're a day ahead here in the southern hemisphere, it's a Saturday when I put the homework up. And it takes me some time. Like usually, if I'm able to, the night before, I will sit and go, okay, what does everybody need as a collective for their homework? And so I know there's lots of new members, and I'm so happy to have you here. We've got people literally from all over the world, places I would have never thought would know that this app existed. So I welcome you all. Now, when I put the homework up, there are 3 places I put it up. I put it up on my Insta stories without the sections. I don't put up where to find them. It's just to let you know your homework is up. This is what they are. The second place I put them up is your group chat. Your group chat is where I will put the sections and where to find them. So when I put in the group chat, your meditation is circumstance power. And you will find that in the fear section, you go click on meditations, you click on the fear section, you will see circumstance power there. Or you go to the 3 dots at the top right-hand corner and you do a master search and start typing in the first few letters of the name of the meditation. It will take you straight there. You can heart them and save them to your playlist or your favorites list for the week, and then you can unheart them and do whatever you want. So I find it very hard because to me it makes logical sense when I see the name of the meditation in the section, because there's only one meditation category on the app. But if it doesn't make sense, go and search for it. Search for it in the master search. Spend some time looking around the app. I know that sometimes things can feel a bit complicated, but it just takes time to learn. I mean, my 87-year-old grandmother, you teach her how to do anything on apps and WhatsApp and Facebook, she learns it immediately and then that stays. So just take some time to navigate, but obviously there are very helpful members of the app who will help you if you have any questions. And that group chat is there for you to share anonymously or saying who you are, what you're experiencing spiritually, how the Monday mantra is working out for you, where you're seeing it transpire over the week, because that's how the Monday mantras work. It is for you to go through your week with curiosity, because that's what I do. I'm going, this is really interesting. This is what's actually happening for me. So I actually need to do the opposite to be able to get to the Monday mantra energy. Mini readings are the other way to get some instant guidance. Now, almost instant, meaning within a period of days. This is not for big life questions. I do not answer past life questions. I don't answer big life purpose questions because that requires more evaluation. I can't answer those in a few lines. These are things like, I just need to know your feeling on this and this, or whether I should move, or whether they're just more minor things. But that is a great way for you to just get some quick guidance. And of course, the wait lists are all there. It's always the right time to see me. So just get on the list if you're wanting me. Karen is the person to ask, soul33@gmail.com. And please remember, we're not mind readers. So if you're having IT issues or anything like that, Karen is the person to ask, because she is directly in communication with our coders and developers of the app. There we go. So we're going to get into this week's Monday mantra. I intend, surrender, and stay in the flow. I intend, surrender, and stay in the flow. So this week we've got a couple of things. Now, I'm not an astrologer, so that's why I don't ever go into astrology, because I am purely on how I feel energetically. Spirit talks to me. They make me feel things, see things, experience things. We actually have a Mercury retrograde on the 13th. So that's why on your homework, I put on an asterisk, don't start doing your Mercury retrograde meditations until the 13th in your, wherever you are in the world. There is a Mercury retrograde section under the meditation category, okay, under the meditation part of the app. So we go into Mercury retrograde this week. And to be honest, the only reason I really bring up Mercury retrograde is because it really is something that a lot of people commercially talk about. So, and people fear it. So I just bring it up. It's not necessarily that I buy into it too much, but I do know it does cause some sort of sticky residue of communication and situations. And this is part of why the throat chakras were clearing last week, is because when Mercury is in retrograde, communication can be a little bit more challenging. This is written communication, verbal communication, but it's really nothing to fear. It's actually, again, around, what's my power and my circumstance? My power this week is to intend, surrender, and stay in the flow. And that's what it's for. It's just for us to stay in the flow and be more aware around a communication, because Mercury retrograde is a time of reevaluating what we want. And this goes until the 1st of January, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll keep reminding you during your Monday mantras, because that's when you would stop doing your Mercury retrograde meditations, is when it finishes. Just before Mercury goes into retrograde, the day before, we have a new moon, and it's the last one for the year. So what is in our minds, this is why last week's Monday mantra around even the silent voice in your head is making a difference. What is in our minds needs to be realistic, not just in terms of our intentions, but the fear that you will breed into something if you overthink worst case scenarios. Check your motivation, but if any conflict or inner conflict arises, we want to get Mercury on our side to ensure we are clear on this motivation so that we can work together and converge in relationships rather than working to fulfill independent needs. I'm not talking just about relationships with a lover, just we relate to lots of people all day long, including people we go and talk to in shops and cafes and whatever else. So really clearly intending, being very aware, and checking your motivation, because if you have any conflict, inner conflict or outer conflict, getting Mercury on side, like in my culture, we have so many mantras and very powerful incantations that get planets on side when they are astrologically in retrograde or going direct or causing issues in people's astrological charts, because you want to get that particular energy of that planet on your side by invoking its power. So this is why we don't usually do Mercury retrograde meditations unless it's that time, because we all want Mercury to be helping us within our soul progression rather than working to cause more resistance in our lives. So when I talk about converging in relationships, as you relate to people this week, look at if you are actually looking to work together or whether you're trying to fulfill an independent need. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm just asking you to pay attention, because we all want to converge with people, because we are all evolved beings that know that we are one, and we're all working towards that collective consciousness. Intend with the new moon. I've given you a new moon meditation for your homework. You can do that right up until, from now until, now meaning it's Monday today, until a few days after the new moon. Intend, surrender, be in the flow. Just know that you're growing roots and your bigger picture intentions are starting to grow in this new moon cycle before the new year. So not only are we paying attention to our exchanges this week in terms of what we are giving in return for something, we're also wanting to observe communication exchanges. Question to ask yourself now. So ask yourself this question as I'm saying it to you. Are you doing things only to get something in return? What are the conditions? Because we all actually have these conditions, which is another word for expectations, but just slightly different meaning. What are the conditions that you're setting on, I'm only going to do this if I do that? And this is where you might need to express what your needs are to converge with a relationship, a work relationship, within your personal relationship with your kid, to feel like you're both working towards something and not being used or anything like that. Patience and balance I needed this week too, but you're also creating soul memories that will have impressions that are lasting on how you made someone feel. Okay, so we have to have difficult conversations sometimes. It's like in my work. My work is not a fluffy job. It's a job that's serious. And it's not just to hand read people and tell them what their future is. It's to confront and challenge things and go, right, well, why is this happening? How do we get rid of this energy? What do you need to learn? What do you need to prepare for? What do you need to accept? But trust that relationships are coming together for a common purpose, even if there is conflict, as you are aware enough to know that things are happening for you, and just stay in the flow. I'm always here for you. Kieran's the person to ask if you're feeling stuck and needing some help on what's available to help you. But over Christmas, I always, without fail, regardless of whatever's going on in my life, I will always be here to have these lessons up for you and set your homework. But in terms of sessions, personalized meditations, mini readings, Kieran is the person to ask for that, soul33@gmail.com. Don't forget to update your apps, enjoy the new features. You can do your homework or the exercises once a day. You can do one each day and add in other ones that you like. It's just to help you know what to do, because people often don't know what they want to do. And then now you've got the shuffle feature. You can go into each section and go, well, what do I need to do today? Your Monday mantra is I intend, surrender, and stay in the flow. You intend with the new moon, you surrender to Mercury retrograde, and you stay in the flow of any conflicts and exchanges that require your attention and your power. And so we're going to just now tune in, and if you can, close your eyes and just listen to my voice. And just know that you do have the power to intend roots for the bigger picture that you are looking for. And to be truly successful, you need to know what you want and you need to stick to it. Nobody ever got anywhere by changing their mind 10,000 times. It doesn't mean that you can change your mind if you want to, but when you want something and you know that it's the right thing for you, you have the ability to intend, surrender, and stay in the flow, knowing that everything is working for you. You've got this. This is about your soul progression. This is about this very short journey we have in these bodies. You've only got Gaia for X amount of years, and then she's going to disappear somewhere else, as are you. But it's not over. If you need any help, remember the app is only $60 per year. We're getting people emailing, Kieran was telling me, for gift memberships. So if you're wanting to give someone a gift of the app, which is a wonderful gift to give because it's only $60 for the year, please email Kieran and she'll let you know what to do. Giving you the power and the strength to be able to understand what you are doing here and what your purpose is.